So let's come onto our backs to begin today. You can bend your knees, rest them together, rest them out, straighten the legs, whatever feels comfortable to you. And the arms can be out on the ground, maybe over your head, or maybe resting the hands on the body just to help guide the breath. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to do that. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Releasing the body into the ground. Feeling the backs of the shoulders settle in. The buttocks or the sacrum, depending on how your legs are. And the feet, maybe the bottoms or the heels or the outer edges, wherever your feet are touching, just feel that release into the ground. And then draw your awareness to the pits of your hands and let them relax. Feel the whole body relaxing. And then draw your awareness to your breath and breathe deeply into the ribs and into the chest. As you exhale, release first chest, then ribs, then belly. Inhaling, rolling up the torso. Exhaling, rolling down. 'Place your hands under your sacrum with your palms down or under your buttocks. Lift the legs into the air. We're gonna scissor the legs, lowering one and then the other, and they'll just cross in the middle, so you don't need to wait for one to come all the way back up to lower the other one. Just keep going. Now, try to maintain your slow, long breath. So you may do several scissors with one inhale and one exhale. Five more. And then release the feet to the ground, knees bent, let the knees fall out to the side. Just let the hips open. You might rest your hands on your inner thighs just to not push the legs down, but just providing that extra bit of gravity, letting the legs release under the weight of the hands. Slow, deep breath. Maybe imagining that you're breathing in between the hands. And then lift the knees and send the arms out to the side like a T. Yeah. We're gonna lift the feet. You can keep the knees bent. If you want to make it harder, straighten the legs any amount. The more they're straight, the harder it is. So you can go anywhere along that spectrum. We're going to slowly lower the legs to the left with control and without touching down. And then keeping the legs together, inhaling up through center and exhaling, lowering to the right, turning your head the opposite way, not touching the legs to the ground, and coming back up with an inhale. Continue at your own pace. You really need to slow your breathing down if you're going to inhale up and exhale slowly lower. After the next time you go to the right, inhale the legs up to center. Bring your hands under your buttocks again. Over the back. And then slowly lower the legs down, pointing and flexing the feet. Stretching out through the heels, then through the toes. Lowering with control, nice and slow. And then once the feet come down, release the hands, stretch the arms overhead. Keeping the heels on the ground, reach the arms up into the air, lift your head, tuck your chin, and peel yourself all the way up to sitting. Try not to use your hands. Okay. Then we'll just have the feet nice and wide apart with the knees bent and the hands behind us. And just let the knees go from side to side. And then come back to center. Bring the soles of the feet together. Hands are at the ankles, pulling up, lifting the chest, roll the shoulders down. Press the elbows down. Send the left ear to the left. Especially press that right elbow down. Nice, long, tall breaths. And then center, other side. Pressing down the left elbow. Feel the shoulder blades pulling down the back. And center. And then bring the left hand across to the right leg. Take the right arm up and lean to the left, gazing up and to the right, pressing down that right knee to keep your right buttock grounded, reaching out of the fingertips, lengthening the side with the breath. Next inhale up and exhale down and across to the other shin. Inhale, left arm up and exhale, dropping to the right, really pressing down that left knee, grounding through the left buttock. Maybe pulling in with that right hand to get those right ribs under you and then reaching with the left arm. And inhale up, reach both arms up. And exhale, come over your legs, hands to the ground, dropping the head, letting the elbows drop down. As you inhale, draw the hands toward you. So maybe just like the fingertips pulling the floor toward you, lengthening the chest away from you. And then exhale, dropping elbows. Inhale. Hands press along the floor and pull in, taking the heart forward, the spine longer. Exhale, relax. A few more breaths like that. And then bring yourself up, reach the arms up, inhale. Exhale, release down. And we'll come over onto hands and knees. If you'd like to do a simple cat and cow, you can leave the hands under the shoulders and then just round the back as you exhale, arch the back as you inhale. If you'd like to do something a little more challenging or a little more energizing, hands go in front of the body with the fingers spread wide. We'll curl the toes under and we'll exhale into a downward dog. And then we'll inhale into a plank. Exhale, bend the elbows close to the side of the body, lower the knees if you need to, hover over the floor. Inhale, push into upward dog, rolling onto the fronts of the feet. Exhale, curl the toes, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees can come down. Elbows bend, hovering over the ground. Inhale, push and roll onto the fronts of the feet. Lift the chest, the eyes, the shoulders roll back. Curl the toes, downward dog as you exhale. Inhale, plank. Or just continue with your cat and cow. And then we'll all meet in downward dog. Lift the right leg. Lift the heel as high as you can, straightening the right leg, keeping the right hip facing down. Pushing forward into the hands and really sinking into that left heel. Just focusing on the stretch in the left leg. Let the head drop down, maybe lift the heel a little higher. Strong, slow breath. And then inhale and look forward. Exhale, step the right foot up between the hands. Bring the back heel down. And then we're gonna windmill, leading with the left arm, coming into a warrior two. Let the shoulders relax down. And nice deep bend in that right knee. Try to sink your pelvis straight down, not to the right, tailbone dropping to the floor. And then really activate that left leg. Get it nice and straight. Push back into the left foot. And then roll your belly to the left, taking your gaze to the right. Breathing wide across your ribs and chest. And then when you exhale, sinking down, lowering, just dropping a little bit more. Just adding Ming to the screen. Welcome, Ming. Looking good, you guys. Great. Okay. Now I'm going to give you 3 options for our reverse warrior. Option 1, left hand on the ground, right arm up and back. Option 2, left hand behind your back, right arm up and back. Option 3, right hand folds, finds the left hand if you can, and then come up and back. Okay. And then we'll release back into warrior two just for a moment. Arms outstretched wide. Straighten the right leg. Take a breath wide and across your hands. Exhale, we'll come into triangle, reaching forward through the right arm, lengthening through that whole right side. I know we think of the left side as getting long, but we want to lengthen the right side and then lower the hand down. Now, I don't see this necessarily with those of you I'm seeing, but a common thing that I do see is that people want to get lower. And so they start to bend and they're kind of bending a little bit forward and their butt is behind their head. That's not what we're looking for. Don't worry about how far down you go. Just think of yourself as being between 2 planes of glass, and you don't want to shatter the glass. You need to stay completely inside them in one straight line. And then we're going to reach the left arm overhead. So a little less traditional arm placement than usual for triangle pose. And then push back into your left foot and reach out through your left arm. And I'm gonna give you another option for those of you who like the bind. The left hand comes behind your back. The right arm comes inside. You find that bind behind you and then straighten the leg. And you only want to do this if you can still keep your torso over your leg. So if it makes you fold forward and shatter that glass, then you're not doing it. The front leg is straight because it's a triangle pose. If you can't do it without the front leg being straight, don't do the bind. And again, try to line your right ribs up over your right thigh, not in front of you. Perfect. All right. Spend a lot of time in that triangle. Great. Then we'll just take that left arm up, place it behind the back, take the gaze down, and then in one motion, we're going to kick off that back foot and bring the hand to the floor at 2 o'clock of the front foot. Nice, you guys. And then option 1, the arm is lifted, the leg is out straight, the belly is turned to the left. Option 2, taking hold of that left foot and kicking it away from you. And option 3 is taking the right hand off the ground. Maybe you want to rest it on your shin. Maybe you want to let it hang. Okay. Now release the foot all the way to the back again. That right hand is on the ground. Bring it closer to the right foot. And then send the arm straight up. That's option 1. Option 2, this is going to be challenging. That right palm is really securely on the ground. The left hand is going to reach over and take hold of the outside of that right foot and lift it up off the ground. And try to get the arm to be over the head. Okay. And then we'll all just bring the hands both to the floor, lifting the back heel, coming into a lunge. So back foot is on the ground, just the heel is lifted. And then we're going to step back into a plank, lower to chaturanga, inhale to upward dog, exhale to downward dog. Hold here for a breath. Okay. And then we'll lift the left leg up in the air. Really push that right heel down. So we're not turning sideways. We're not doing that hip opener. We're just doing a 3-legged dog, lifting the left leg high, but keeping the hip facing down. And just focusing on stretching that right heel into the ground and stretching that right calf. Let the head relax down, shoulders roll down the back. Challenge yourself by lifting that left heel higher. And then look forward as you inhale. Exhale, step the foot up between the hands. Bring the back heel onto the ground, coming into your warrior stance. And then windmill up with the right arm leading all the way up into warrior two. So press that left thigh back. You want to be able to see your first two toes inside that left knee. Let the shoulders relax down. Watch that you're not leaning into it. So if you can't see yourself, you can still tell if you're leaning by checking in with your feet. If there's more weight in one foot than the other, you're leaning. Roll your belly to the right, head to the left. Sink down, let the tailbone drop, let the shoulders drop. Slow, smooth breath. So none of this matters if you can do all of this, but you're doing it with like a shallow breath and you're kind of like, you know, flustered as you're doing it or stressed. Don't bother. Just go to the gym. We're here to work on our flexibility of mind and body. So the mind is flexible by being able to be calm even when the body is working. We're building our stamina of our nervous system. So just always keep tuning into the breath and making sure you have that slow, smooth, long, calming breath. And then we'll come into our reverse warrior again. Option one has the arm on the back leg, leaning back, left arm overhead. Option two, that right arm comes behind the back. And option three, the right hand comes behind the back and the left hand folds from top to bottom, finding the left fingers and then leaning back. Nice. And then release for a moment into warrior two, arms out. Straighten that left leg. Inhale, reach forward through the left arm, lengthening the left side of the body, releasing the arm down. I'm not going to repeat the lecture from the last side. And then taking the clasping variation, the bind, if you want to, and if doing so doesn't compromise the integrity of the posture. Keeping the torso lined up over the leg, take the right arm overhead. And then as you inhale, re-lengthen the left side of the body. Then as you exhale, drop the right ribs down toward the left ribs. Left leg is straight. How's the breath? Maybe it feels hard to breathe into this shape. Okay. Then the right hand comes behind the back. The gaze comes to the floor. In one motion, we kick off the back foot and land on the left hand, bringing it at about 10 o'clock of the foot. You can take traditional half moon number two, leg straight, arm up, belly rolled to the right. You can grab your right foot with your right hand and kick it away from you, keeping the belly rolled to the right. Or you can turn it into a balance pose, taking the hand off the ground. The hand is off the ground, bring it back. Step back, right foot all the way back. Okay, and then we're gonna bring that left hand in so that it's closer to the foot. And then either just lift that right arm up or plant the palm squarely on the ground, grab hold of the outside of the left leg and lift it, keeping both legs straight, trying to bring the right arm over the head. You're in the lifted version, turn down, coming into a high lunge, a moment with the hands on the ground. And then on an inhale, step back into plank. Exhale, lower and hover. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog, or you can take child's pose if you want to rest, because we're going to hold downward dog for a few breaths. Pace yourself, listen to yourself, honor yourself, whatever you need. We're just going to be here and let it be a resting pose for a few more breaths. Just focus on the breath being calm and slow. Shoulders down the back. Hands pressing forward, shifting weight from fingers to heels. And we're going to walk our feet up to the hands. So if you're in child's pose, you can make your way to standing along with the rest of us as we curl ourselves up and lift up and reach the arms up. And then exhale the hands together in front of the heart. Step the legs wide apart. Take the arms out. And then exhale and fold over the right leg. Scoop the lower belly in and up. Feel where the swelling of the inhale happens in your body. If there's no swell, try to breathe deeper. And lift up, take the arms out to the side. Exhale, other way. Slow in breath, slow out breath. So you're breathing beyond the point where it's comfortable. You'll get to a place in the breath where it feels like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And then you're going to add until it feels like you're challenging yourself to breathe deeper. More of your body receives the breath. Okay, and then inhale back up into our 5-pointed star. And then on the exhale, you can either leave the arms here, or you can bring the arms overhead to make it harder, or have them behind you to make it easier. We're going to fold forward and have the torso parallel to the ground. Try to have the arms framing the ears if you're in that version, or they can be in one of the other versions. But if your arms are overhead, the inner elbows are alongside the ears. And inhale up. Exhale, release the arms down. Clasp them behind your back. And then turn the toes a little wider than the heels. And then just bend into like a side lunge. And bring your fists alongside your right hip. Look over your left shoulder. Straighten the legs. Reclasp your hands with the opposite thumb on the outside. Take a breath. And then bend into a side lunge to the right. Bring your hips over by your left hip or hands over by your left hip or waist. And look over your right shoulder. Belly, ribs, chest. Come back to center. Then bend your knees deeply, lowering your buttocks down in between your knees. And then press your knees back with your arms. And then you might shift your weight a little bit from side to side, or you can stay in the center. Okay, straighten the legs, turn the feet to face front, bring the hands to the hips, the elbows to the sky, and flat back your way up. Step the feet together or hip width apart. Hands are on the hips, knees are soft. We'll circle the hips around without changing the upper body or head. So we're really isolating the hips. And then reverse. Think of your tailbone as drawing a big circle. Okay. And then let that go. Bring the hands across the chest. And now we're going to circle the upper body and leave the lower body still. So think of your head as drawing a big circle, but keep the hips in place. Keep your hips still. I mean, you're moving your hips all around. Plant your lower body and just rotate your upper body. There you go. Just moving the spine. And then the other way. That's correct. And back to center. Release the arms. If your feet were together, you probably want them at least hip width apart now, maybe a little wider than hip width apart, and have the knees soft. You're gonna keep moving the spine, and we're gonna kind of just spiral, and one hand will tap the center of the chest, and the other arm is just gonna swing behind. We're gonna look over the shoulder as we move. Try to let it move with momentum, less effort, more swing. Just these simple movements of the spine go so far to keeping us healthy and limber. Okay, and then back to center. Get back to hip width. We're together. I know some people like standing with their feet together, and a lot of yoga is taught with your mountain pose with feet together. In the tradition that I was taught in, my lineage is through a female teacher. And since women's hips are wider, this kind of feet together stance is not that natural for female bodies. But if you like standing with your feet together, you're welcome to do that. Okay, now we're gonna inhale and lift up, final movement of the spine, leaning back, exhale, folding over. Inhaling up, exhale over. So this is more of a rapid breath than what we've been doing, and that's fine. It's okay to breathe quickly if it's deliberate. But when we're trying to maintain a slow breath, we want to maintain a slow breath. Let's do 5 more. Drop the head at the bottom. And then just let the arms float down by your side. Okay, Ming, that was like 10 more. You were on a roll. Let's just stop for a minute and just feel the energy that we've created in the body through the movement of the spine. Yeah, if you want to shake, that's fine. If you want to feel stillness, that's fine. Just listening to your own body. Okay, and we'll send the arms out in front. We'll lift the heels and come onto the toes. Looking at a spot in front of us for balance. We'll slowly bend the knees and lower down. Then you can keep the hands here. You can bring the hands together at the heart. You can take the arms overhead. Pull the belly in and down, lowering the tailbone. If you want to challenge yourself, close your eyes. Then let the knees widen. Bring the hands to the ground. Have the hands shoulder width apart and the fingers spread wide. We're going to lift the buttocks. We're going to try to balance in a crane. We're going to lift the buttocks. You can see that the knees are already resting on the backs of the arms. That's exactly where you want them. Then when you lift the buttocks, the elbows are bent, but you don't want them bending out. If they bend out, you lose all the power of your bones supporting you. So you lift the elbows, but keep them in, and then lean forward until the elbows are over the wrists. Once the elbows are over the wrists, lift your feet off the ground. If you properly line up the bones, it doesn't require any muscle to do this. You need a little bit of abdominal strength to be able to lift your feet. Steady your breath. Keep trying. Okay. Let's come down onto our buttocks. Straighten the legs out. Let's roll the hands. Roll the other way. Okay, and then just shake them out. Okay. Now, we're going to have the hands behind us. I'm going to give you a couple of options. So you can come into the full upward plank with the fingers pointing toward your hips and then lifting your hips, pressing your toes toward the floor, dropping your head back. You can come into a version on your elbows, lifting your hips, dropping your head back, or you can keep your buttocks on the ground and just come into fish pose. The elbows will move forward and the buttocks will stay on the ground and you'll drop the head back onto the floor. So any one of those three postures. Open the throat. Try to really breathe up into the throat. The head is back. Okay. Let's all bring the buttocks down. Slowly lift the head. Okay. And now we'll reverse the pressure on the throat and we'll come into a plow. So laying down, knees come in, rocking back and forth on the spine, and then taking the hands from the knees to the hips and bringing the feet all the way overhead. Walk the hands down the back so that you're really on your shoulders and upper arms. And if your feet touch the ground, curl your toes under and press the thighs toward the sky. If your feet don't touch the ground, just really think about stretching them out long and straight. Slow, deep breath. And then let the knees come to the forehead. Lift the feet. Slowly lay your spine back down. Let the feet come to the floor with the knees bent. Gently rock your head from side to side. Come back to stillness. Lift your hips, tuck your tailbone under. Release your legs, shake them out. If you have an eye pillow, you can place that on your eyes. Let the arms rest out away from the body. Take a breath in through the nose, filling the body up. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the body down. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth, releasing the jaw. So the top teeth aren't touching the bottom teeth. Slightly part the lips, relaxing the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Letting go of the activity of the mind. Bringing the mind's full attention to the feeling of the breath. And then letting go of the breath. Just allow it to come and go however it wants. Notice if it's hard now to not intentionally breathe while still watching the breath. Notice if there's any sense of judging the breath, evaluating the breath, controlling the breath. See if you can just befriend the breath, just be a loving presence alongside of it, just letting it be exactly as it is and being there right with it with your mind's eye. Deeply relaxing into that feeling of being known, of being seen, being allowed. Letting go, letting go, letting go. Breathe into your heart. Move the fingers and toes. Reach the arms overhead. Take a deep breath. Stretch long. Hug the knees to the chest, rocking side to side, feeling the ground, massaging the back. Come center, rub hand to hand and foot to foot. Roll onto your side. Rest your head on your bottom arm. Rest your body on the ground. Really rest your body on the ground. How much more can you let go? Just sink into that support of the earth, the Great Mother holding us. And then slowly finding your way up into any comfortable seated posture. The sit bones sinking down, the head lifting tall. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands together at the heart. Inhale the heart up to the hands. Exhale, shoulders relax down. Inhale deeply, breathing in from bottom to top. Take it all in. Let it all go. Drop the chin to the chest. Namaste.